This is about to be a really big undertaking. I'm reorganizing / redoing my whole book setup. So I live in a house with 4 other people, and I'm fortunate enough to have the basement. So this year I got myself a bookshelf, and if you watch my TikToks or you've watched this channel before, you know what my bookshelf looks like. But I have slowly been running out of room for like the past, honestly, like half the year, and I've been back to shoving my books in random places again. So I finally gave in. I bought another bookshelf. It has 12 cubes in it, which is a lot. So I'm going to be building that today. And then I also already have a 3-cubed organizer, which I'll show in a minute, but I use it for like my hair stuff, and I want to be able to use that for book space too. So I also bought a rolling cart, and I'm going to transition my hair stuff to that and try to find a place where I can put the little 3-cube to also put more books in that. So this video is kind of just going to be me figuring all that out. Once I have the shelves built, I will be like rearranging my books, and hopefully it's enough space. So the current situation I'm in is that my room looks terrible. Like, there is stuff everywhere. It's absolute chaos, which a lot of that is due to the fact that I was filming a video with a brand, and it was like several days of filming, and I had to have like my desk set up looking a very specific way. So a lot of stuff that I usually have over there got moved. I was using things to prop up my tripod and everything, so it's like chaos in here. So first matter at hand is to pick up, because I don't want to start building until my room looks normal. I'm gonna throw some YouTube onto my TV and try to knock this out. I saw that Destiny Sidwell just posted a new video, and it's like 40 minutes long, I think. So hopefully I can get it done while I watch that whole video, and it won't take any longer than that. Oh, also before I jump into that, I just want to show you guys what I was talking about over here. So over here, ignore the mess on the vanity, but this little 3-cube is what I want to be able to use for books. But right now I have hair storage on there. So I'm gonna be putting my rolling cart there in this corner, and hopefully moving this. And then over here, I like to call this area that I'm about to show you my PR corner, because when I get PR packages, or like if I get product that I'm going to be filming like a collaboration video with that I don't need to use yet, I just dump everything over here so it's all in one spot. And this is currently what it looks like. Normally there's a ton more boxes right here, but I cleared all that out earlier, and now I just have some of this stuff left, so I definitely need to organize that. I promise my room's really not normally this messy. Usually I keep it pretty tidy. However, the past couple of days have just been chaos for filming content. Okay, y'all, I got this space cleared out actually really fast. Here's the space we're working with. I'm gonna vacuum really quick, but hopefully it's gonna fit right here. I don't know if I want to build the bookshelf first or build the rolling cart and move my 3-cubed organizer. I think I'm gonna build the rolling cart first, just so I can get stuff out of like this area, and then I'll focus on the bookshelf last, because I think that's gonna be a more difficult task to handle. Okay, here's where we're at right now in the building process. This is taking me way longer than it should. This is literally all I have, and I still have to finish building the cart. The bookshelf hasn't even been opened yet. Okay, so the cart is finally finished, and I'm just now realizing I wanted to get one to match my makeup cart, but I got it in white, and I really thought I got it in black, but hopefully it won't bother me too much. Okay, so I cleared out this space where my cart had been, and now I like added all the stuff to this cart. I'm about to move it over there, but also I brought this over here, and I'm gonna fill it with books eventually. I just don't know what books I'm gonna put there. Now it's time to start building the bookshelf, and I'm really nervous. One, because I don't know if I'm gonna be able to build it by myself. It says it comes with all the stuff to build it yourself, but like, I'm one person. It was a struggle to even get it down here in the box. It's like way later, and I finally got it up. Ta-da! And while that was really hard, now it's time for the actual hard part, which is adding books to it. Okay, so I kind of started decorating the top first, and I did like these little plants over here, and then I had a sunglasses holder that used to be like somewhere else, and I just put it here with a candle and this little like hourglass thing I got, and a little plant. You can't even really see it back there, but I'm gonna leave this middle space open because I feel like I might end up putting a series of books up there. So I'm really feeling torn right now as I'm starting to unpack the shelves, because originally I think I wanted to like stick with the color theming, because this shelf I did like a color scheme. Like I had my red shelf, blue, but as I'm taking it apart, I'm like, should I put some series together? And maybe if I like put series together, they could go on that shelf, and then I could keep like standalone books over here. Okay, I've got the setup kind of how I like it, and I think I'm gonna stop for the night, but I'll show you guys what I have now. Over here, I have this shelf, which is basically just series I've finished, and then I'm glad I have tons more blank because I plan to, when I finish series that are on the other shelf, I'll move them over here, and then hopefully the other shelf will get filled up with things on my TBR. So here's my old bookshelf. I kept the top pretty much the same. Like, I kept my special edition pop-up Harry Potters, my regular Harry Potters, Throne of Glass, ACOTAR, and then I tried to keep the color coordinating, but what I'm gonna do here is each color will have books I already read and also books that are on my TBR, even if the series are split up. And then as of now, I have this shelf empty, but I'm honestly happy about that because the more I read, I'm gonna need more space, so I'm sure I'll end up putting something over here eventually. And I actually filmed a whole outro to this video last night, but as I was watching it back and editing, I realized I didn't even really give a full like tour or explanation that much of how I set it up and why I did it this way. And looking around, some of it really has no rhyme or reason, but a lot of it is just that I have empty space, and I'm hoping that as I start to read more, I'll probably end up rearranging it again. But I just wanted to do like a quick little walkthrough of what I have now and like how I've arranged it. So gonna insert that right here, and then we'll go to the outro. So for this bookshelf, it is pretty much all series. Well, it is only series, but they're all series that I have already finished for the most part. There's one exception. But over here, I just have some of the classics. I've got the Hunger Games and the Divergent series, and I was really hoping right here I was going to be able to fit some other books, but as of now, I have nothing that would fit there. And over here, we have the Shadow and Bone trilogy, but I know I'm going to end up moving this because I still have to read the Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom, and I'm sure I'm going to want them to be by those. Then we have Holly Black, Cruel Prince trilogy, plus the Stolen Heir. Once again, I'm going to have to end up moving stuff because I know more books are coming out after the Stolen Heir. Then I have the These Hollow Vows duology. I don't really have a reasoning for them being right here, other than that this whole shelf is like YA and A fantasy, and they just fit perfectly right there. Moving over here, you can't really see them because of the glare, but this is the Plated Prisoner series. The first 4 are all that's out so far, and then I have my Crescent City 1 and 2. I considered displaying these kind of the way I do with ACOTAR, but where there's only 2 of them out right now, I just figured they fit perfectly right here. And then I have my little Hunt candle right on top of Crescent City 1. And then over here I have the Serpent and Dove trilogy plus the whole Shatter Me series. I don't own the novellas, and I'm probably not going to buy them. And then I've got the Good Girl's Guide to Murder trilogy right here. Moving down to this shelf, this is all the Carissa Broadbent books. This is my one exception because I haven't read any of these yet. It's the only thing on this shelf I have not read, but they just look so pretty all together, and if I tried to break them up onto the shelf that's color-coded, it just, I don't know, it wouldn't make sense, and I wanted to be able to keep them all together. Then over here on this shelf, I've got the A Touch of Darkness trilogy, the Caraval trilogy, and the Ravenhood trilogy. Over here, I have Dance of Thieves by itself, but I am planning to read Vow of Thieves soon, and I already checked, and it will fit perfectly in this little gap. And then I've got the Kingdom of the Wicked trilogy and the Maze Runner trilogy plus the prequel. I think there's actually like a lot of prequels out now, but I read those books in middle school, and there's only one prequel out then. And then I have the Inheritance Games trilogy, which I heavily considered trying to put next to A Good Girl's Guide to Murder just because they're both YA and mystery, but I couldn't really find a spot on the shelf where it made sense for them to be by each other. And then last but not least, I have the From Blood and Ash series plus the Shadow and the Ember. I haven't bought like the other books in the Flesh and Fire series, but that is the prequel, and if I ever get them, I think I would have room to add them to the stack there. And then the top is pretty much the same as I showed last night. I've just got these little trinkets and candle over here, plus this stuff. And then I didn't end up putting a series here in the middle. I just added this like vase with hydrangeas in it, and I moved my Harry Potter illustrated edition of Order of the Phoenix over here because I thought it just looked nice. Now for the infamous bookshelf behind me. So I think I showed this last night, but I kept basically the same setup on the top. Harry Potter books, except I did have the illustrated edition of Order of the Phoenix here and I moved it to the other shelf. I've got my pop-up Harry Potter books with some little Harry Potter trinkets, all of Throne of Glass. I've always had these posters up here. I got these from an Etsy shop. They're little prints that are related to Crescent City, Throne of Glass, and ACOTAR, and I just think they're so cute and subtle. Then we have ACOTAR down here in the middle with my Valeris candle. Moving over to red, I also think I showed this last night. But basically each color shelf is set up the same way. So we're gonna have books I've already read that will be staying on this shelf because they're standalones, and books that are that color on my TBR, even if they're in the series, even if they're split up from the other books of the series. Until I read them, they'll stay on the color shelf that they match, and when I finish the series, they'll all go together over on the other shelf. That's like my general plan right now. So I've read these two. These are all on my TBR, and they're actually all in series. So eventually they'll get put with the rest of the series once I move them. And then over here we have like gold/yellow and a little bit of orange over here. I've read all of these except for the Traitor Queen, and the only reason that I didn't put it on the end, because I'm trying to separate them, is because it creates a nice little color gradient here, and I'm just OCD, and if I put it on the other side of book lovers, it would drive me crazy. The bottom down here are my pink and like peachy tone books. Same thing here, where some of them I've already read and they'll be staying. Some of them, like Happy Place, once I read it, it will still stay over here because it's a standalone, but if it goes in a series, it will move to the other shelf, if that makes sense. It makes sense in my brain. I don't know if it makes sense to other people. Then down here in this little pocket, I've read all of these, but they didn't really fit anywhere else, so I just stuck them down there. Then we have the shelf of black books. Once again, I've read some of these I haven't. When I read them, they may or may not stay depending on if they're a standalone. And then I have this little mirror trinket that I got in a PR box from Red Tower Books with Entangled Publishing, and I thought it looked cute there. Here we have the blue shelf. I've read pretty much all of these minus maybe like 4 of them, but same thing applies to this as the rest of them. This little corner is the most miscellaneous. It's kind of like gray/purple, if that makes sense. And I've actually only read 2 of these books, so these are definitely going to be moving eventually. I just didn't really know how to color code with the purple and gray since I didn't have a lot of them. Then moving on to the last 2 shelves, these are all the white books. A lot of them are Colleen Hoover, so I tried to keep those together. And then we have The Silent Patient. This is a trilogy I haven't read yet, so once I do, it'll get moved. And then last but not least is the Pitiful Green shelf. The only ones I've read of these are these 2, and they are standalone, so they'll stay. And then I think Wilder Girls will stay once I read it because it's a standalone, but the other 2 are in series, so they'll get moved, and I'll have basically nothing on the green shelf. So that is everything. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you'd want to see like a full room tour video, I've never done one of those on YouTube. I only have on TikTok, so I'd love to make one for here if anyone would be interested. And I will definitely update as my bookshelves start to fill up again. Seeing it like this makes me feel like I don't have that many books, but before building the new shelf, my bookshelf was overflowing. I had books on the floor. I had books stuffed random places in my room, so I feel good about having like open space where I can expand. The camera is moving. I feel good about having open space on my shelves where I can expand and add books as I start to buy them, because when I tell you I thought I had plenty of space when I moved in here, I really did. Like, I thought I would be set for the next couple years, and within 6 months my shelves became full. But I hope you guys enjoyed. I have a couple more book related content type videos up on my channel and tons more coming soon, so make sure to like, comment, and subscribe and check out those other videos if you're interested. I also have a couple like vlog type videos that are a little bit unrelated to books, but if anyone would be interested in seeing that, definitely go check those out as well, and head on over to my TikTok and Instagram pages, which I'll have linked in the description. Bye guys.